Okay, so far, the ants see on a mountain, and we could see the bricks, so we knew it was a brick wall. The ants see crystals. We knew that they were tasty. You can eat it. There was a spoonful into a dark drink, so we know it's sugar. A brown lake was a boiling hot liquid, bitter, and it was in the morning, so we figured it was coffee or tea because we put sugar in it. And then the cave, we saw the nose, the lips, the mustache, so we knew the cave was actually a mouth. So now you're going to take your worksheet, put your name on it, and we're going to try to infer what some other things are in this story. Okay, so it said, close by they found a huge round disc with holes that can neatly hide them. Here they are. But as soon as they climbed inside, their hiding place was lifted, tilted, and lowered into a dark space. When the ants climbed out of the holes, they were surrounded by a strange red glow. It seemed to them that every second the temperature was rising. It soon became so unbearably hot that they thought they would soon be cooked. But suddenly the disc they were standing on rocketed up, and the two hot ants were flying through the air. So they found a disc. Here it is, right here. A disc with holes that can neatly hide them. So we're going to say, I can infer that the disc is nope, not a plate. Shh. So they've climbed onto it, and it has holes. It's something that has holes. So our evidence is it's got holes. It's got holes. Okay, so the disc has holes. Okay, then let's see. All we know so far is it has holes. Okay, and they're hiding in the holes. Then it gets lifted and put into a dark space, and then all of a sudden it starts glowing where they are. So it has a glow, and it gets hot inside where they're at. And then look, it became so hot that they thought they would soon be cooked. But then the disc went up. So it popped up. And they shot out. So those are some of the words that we saw. We saw that the disc has holes. It went into a glowing thing that got hot. And then they popped up. Now look at the pictures. Those are our word clues. Look at the pictures. Something gets hot that it went down into, and then it popped up. So the things that they're on are things that popped up and they got really hot. So I can infer that the disc is, tell me what you think the disc is. Write it on here. What do you think the disc is? The disc is, finish the sentence. What do you think that disc is? It's something that has holes in it. Then they put it down into something that glows and got really hot, and then it popped up. Remember, it's in the morning. Remember, it's in the morning. A disc means it's circle. What? Disc means it's something that's circle. That's my schema. My schema is a disc. Means it's circle. So it's something that's a circle. That's my schema. Something you can pop into something and it pops up after it's hot. So what do you think it is? Turn and tell someone next to you what you think it is. All right, waterfall, waterfall. What do you think it is? Kate, what do you think? Toast. Okay, is toast a circle? No. No, that's a good one. Because we know the red thing is what? A toaster. But what is round that you put in a toaster, Cooper? A waffle. A waffle? Okay, so it could be a waffle. I would take waffle. Waffles have holes in it. I'll take waffle because Eggo waffles are round. What do you think, Sydney?
Pancake.
A pancake? Do you put pancakes in toasters? No.
And they don't have holes.
And they don't really have holes.
Bread.
Bread? But what bread's holes in it. It's round.
Okay. I'll take that too. I was going to say
All right, waterfall, waterfall. They landed near what seemed to be a fountain, a waterfall pouring from a silver tube. Both ants had a powerful thirst and longed to dip their feverish heads into the refreshing water. They quickly climbed along the tube. As they got closer to the rushing water, the ants felt a cool spray. They tightly gripped the shiny surface of the fountain and slowly leaned their heads into the falling stream. But the force of the water was much too strong. So I can infer that the waterfall, so they think it's a waterfall, is right, what do you think the waterfall is? Hey, Kinsley? A sink? What do you think, Chase? A sink? What do you think, Gracie? A sink? What do you think, Lily? I think it's a sink. Yes, a waterfall is a sink. I heard some people say shower, but are they in a bathroom? No, because they're cooking bagels and they're having coffee and getting sugar. That doesn't happen in a restroom. No, it doesn't. Okay, what is some of the words that I said or with the pictures? Tell me some of your clues. Tell me some clue that you found. Wyatt, what's one of your clues that lets you know this is a sink? Okay, you can see the faucet. See the faucet? It said silver, didn't it? Silver. Oops, sorry. Oh, there it is. You should be able to sound out sink. You can see the faucet. It said it was silver. Okay. What's another word? Is there any other words that you saw, Gracie? Oh, a tube, yeah. That's a good one. Tube. Tube. I like that one. Chase? A cool spray. Okay. Very good. Okay, that's enough evidence. We see the faucet, silver, a tube, a cool spray. Those are all things that let us know the waterfall is a sink. The tiny insects were pulled off the fountain and plunged down into a wet, dark chamber. They landed on half-eaten fruit and other soggy things. Suddenly the air was filled with loud, frightening sounds, and the chamber began to spin. The ants were caught in a whirling storm of shredded food and stinging rain. Then just as quickly as it had started, the noise and spinning stopped. Bruised and dizzy, the ants climbed out of the chamber. So what in a sink spins round and round? Does anyone know what that's called?
The drain.
The drain, but the drain, not all drains go round and round. What's that thing called, Isaiah? Yeah, it's a garbage disposal. Yeah, it's a garbage disposal. Okay. All right. In daylight, once again, they raced through puddles and up a smooth metal wall. In the distance, they saw something comforting, 2 long holes that reminded them of the warmth and safety of their underground home. They climbed into the openings, but there was no safety inside these holes. A strange force passed through the wet ants. They were stunned senseless and blown out of the holes like bullets from a gun. When they landed, the tiny insects were too exhausted to go on. They crawled into a dark corner and fell fast asleep. What just happened? The author didn't tell us what just happened, Cooper. They went to the plug and what hit them? They got shocked, right, with electricity. Made them fly out. Night had returned when the battered ants awoke to a familiar sound. The footsteps of their fellow insects returning for more crystals. The 2 ants slipped quietly to the end of the line. They climbed the glassy wall and once again stood among the treasure. But this time they chose a single crystal and followed their friends home. Standing at the edge of their ant hole, the two ants listened to the joyful sounds that came from below. They knew how grateful their mother queen would be when they gave her their crystals. At that moment, the two ants felt happier than they'd ever felt before. This was their home. This was their family. This was this is where they were meant to be. So they did not want to go back to that crazy place that they were just at with the waterfalls and the big brown lakes and the things that shoot them out and heat them up and cook them and then go spin it round and round. That was quite an adventure.